I've got a number problem here I want to go through. So in this question here, we have a 6-digit number having a 1 as its leftmost digit becomes 3 times larger if we take this digit off, that 1 digit, and put it at the end of the number. So you've got a 6-digit number here that starts with 1. So let's say we got 1, and then we'll label the digits A, B, C, D, and E here. Now they're telling us if I take the 1's digit off and write this digit as A, B, C, D, E with a 1 at the bottom, that it turns out that this number is 3 times larger. Well, another way of saying that is if I take this number and multiply it by 3. So if I take this number and multiply it by 3, we end up getting this one here. So let's figure out how can I find the value of A, B, C, and D and E here. Well, if you think about it, if I take the digit E and multiply it by 3, it has to end in a 1. So what are the numbers? Obviously, the digit E can only be between 1 and 9. So of those numbers, which one or which ones end in a 1 here when multiplied by 3? Well, 1 times 3 is 3, so that's no good. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 3 is 15. 6 times 3 is 18. 7 times 3 is 21, and that's the one we're looking for. You'll see 8 times 3 is 24, no good. And 9 times 3 is 27, also no good. So for us here, there's the 21. So therefore, it must be the case here that E is 7. E would have to be 7 here. So let's change E to 7. I'm going to go here. I'm going to change E to 7. Okay, let's continue on using this strategy. 7 times 3 is 21. So then we're going to add 2 here. Now what happens here is I take the digit D, multiply it by 3, and add 2, and ends in a 7 now. While taking 3, multiplying by the letter digit D, adding 2 and ending in a 7 is equivalent to multiplying D by 3 and that digit ending in a 5. So as we go through this list here, what number do you multiply by 3 that ends in a 5? That's got to be a 5. So now D is 5. So get rid of this, and I can change D to a 5, change D to a 5. We'll continue on in this manner here. So now we have, if you notice here, 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. So we're going to carry that 1 over. There'll be a plus 1 here. Now I've got 3 times C is going to be 3C, plus 1 and ends in a 5. So in other words, 3C must end in a 4. What value do we multiply 3 by that ends in a 4? That's going to be right here. That's going to be 8. So C must now be 8. So I can erase these C's and put 8s. We continue on with this strategy. So now you'll notice here 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So we're going to put a plus 2 here, plus 2 here. Now in this case here, 3 times B plus 2 ends in an 8, which is equivalent to saying 3 times B ends in a 6. So which value here do I multiply by 3 that ends in a 6? Well, that's got to be 2. So B here is 2. Now continuing on here again, we've got here, let's just recap here, I had 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25, put the plus 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. There's no remainder here. And lastly here you have 3 times A ends in a 2. The only number that you multiply by 3 that ends in a 2 here is going to be 4. So in this case here, your A value is 4, and we have found the 6-digit number. If you take 142,857 and you take that number and you put the digit 1 at the end, that new number you've created is exactly 3 times larger than the number we had started off with. Thank you.